My friends, I can tell you from personal experience, Baltimore is a toilet. The city has run down over decades of Democrat leadership, and it is a filth bomb. My name's Howard RIELL, and this is Real Truth. And President Trump, once again, for the umpteenth time, is being blasted for merely speaking the truth. Item just today, from the Baltimore Sun. Baltimore City Fire and Police Departments are investigating a string of 11 fires that broke out in the Edmondson Village neighborhood Monday morning. Firefighters were first called there for a report of a fire around 1:30 a.m. Firefighters dispatched to another incident a few blocks away. That process was repeated 9 more times. Folks, if you go to Baltimore, if you look at it in the news, on YouTube, the place is disgusting. It's because the leadership, the Democrat leadership, has followed policies that have reduced the city to rubble. Well, now we've got Democrats who want to be president. And they're going to want more seats in the House, and they're going to want seats in the Senate. And tell me for what? What have Democrats done that have made life in America better? Nothing. Look at Baltimore, Detroit. Look at most of New York City. Look at California. Look at Los Angeles and San Francisco. Each of them is a Democrat stronghold, and each of them belongs in a sewer. You know, you can damage something, you can damage your body, you can drink heavily only for so long. And then you can't do it anymore because you're going to destroy. We've been destroyed enough by Democrat policies. Why don't we aim higher and do better in 2020? Item from USA Today. Parents help their kids in a variety of ways, and that includes financial support, even when their children get older. Nearly half of millennials, 46%, get some level of financial help from mom and dad on a monthly basis, according to a new survey released by Money Under 30. Parents aren't the only source of financial help for millennials, but they're the top pick to ask for help when kids are a little short of cash. Almost half, 48% of those surveyed, turn to their parents first, followed by 13.57% who have taken a bank loan. 4.99% taking money from friends, 3.79% asked their grandparents. About a third, 29.64%, have not asked for financial help. My friends, if you have millennial children, and if they are at the top half of the millennial age group, you've got to stop helping them, because you're not helping them. You're what's the best word here? I'm a writer. I should know these words, right? You are debilitating them. You're keeping them children who don't have to fend for themselves, and so they don't know how, and they won't be able to. Cut them loose. Let them stand or fall on their own. If they fall, they can get back up and start again. That's called maturity. It's called adulthood. Don't coddle your grown children. Item from InfoWars. An 8-year-old boy was killed after being hit by a high-speed train when a man of, quote, African descent, unquote, pushed him and his mother onto the tracks this morning at Frankfurt, Germany's main station. The mother was able to save her own life by rolling into the gap between the tracks, but lost hold of her son, who was killed by the intercity express train, which can travel at speeds up to 186 miles per hour. A 40-year-old man was arrested after the incident. Police say no connection between the alleged perpetrator and the victims, unquote. My friends, I guarantee you this, that this piece of garbage, this man of, quote unquote, African descent, who pushed the kid and the mother in front of the train, is a proud Muslim. In fact, I'm willing to bet he feels great today because he feels he did exactly what Allah wants him to do. And so the question is this: are there any people in the city in which you live who know that Allah wants them to do things too? Item from theladders.com. According to the survey of 2015 Americans, some of which identified as having worked as a deliverer for at least one food delivery app, 20% of consumers suspect that their driver has eaten some of their food, which is charitable, considering that 28% of delivery drivers confessed to nibbling on an order here and there. 54% of these said they Simply couldn't resist the smell. The paranoia has become so pervasive, 85% of consumers are pulling for restaurants to employ tamper-evident labels to effectively address the issue. My friends, be forewarned. Item from InfoWars. A video out of the UK shows a Muslim woman in a full Islamic veil shouting, quote, "Shame on you," unquote, at members of a gay pride parade. The incident was caught on camera during a Waltham Forest Pride event at Walthamstow on Saturday. Quote, "Shame on you, shame on all of you," the woman repeatedly screams at another person wearing a rainbow flag. "Shame on you, you despicable people," she adds, remarking, "God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve." Unquote. Folks, like I've always said, there's some good in all religions. Item from InfoWars. It's not new that Baltimore is a mess. It's just President Trump is now saying it, and his haters are trying to turn it into a race issue. But the fact is the city's schools have been infested with corruption for years, and kids and taxpayers are the victims while incompetent employees are laughing all the way to the bank. EAGnews.org reported in 2017, not a single student in 5 of the city's high schools and 1 middle school tested up to state standards in English and math. An astonishingly embarrassing statistic that's infuriating some parents, according to Fox Baltimore. Stop. We're about to cut to commercials. Not one student, not one kid in 5 high schools and 1 middle school is reading up to level or doing math up to level, up to state standards. Thank you, Democrat policies. Thank you, the Democrat Party. Thank you to all the mullet heads out there voting for Democrats year after year, even though Democrats never deliver. Monday, Real Truth. We'll be right back.
Before hiring a realtor from a big corporation who outsources their jobs and pays little to no taxes, ask yourself, what is the point of a realtor? You need a realtor who's honest and has integrity. A realtor who's focused on the client's bottom line, not the realtor's bottom line. Who provides personal, over-the-top service before, during, and after the transaction. You want a realtor that knows how to market your property. Hi, I'm James Morgan, a realtor with Grisham and Associates LLC. I am your Colorado real estate specialist. Land deals, mountain cabins, or urban dwellings, I've got you covered. For the first-time home buyer, we will make it the best experience. If you are looking to move up or downsizing, we will do better than your last transaction. Call me today at 720-203-0731 or visit coloradoproperties.online. Let me do a great job for you. Just about anywhere. Rating just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Fine. Just like that. We're on the phone with over 8 all the 8. At 800-951-059. Just like that. Square construction is pleased enough to support the American Freedom Network by offering a high-quality custom construction service. To set up in 1990, Square Construction markets and high-quality debt. All types of outdoor living projects all along the Golden Triangle. Their licensed insured and health experience, knowledge, and skills to help you create the outdoor living business of your dreams. For your free consultation and obligation quote, give Doug a call at 303-517-8742 or visit us on the web.
All right, guys, welcome back. Howard Real in the multiverse of madness, as usual, to paraphrase the upcoming Doctor Strange movie. At the Western Conservative Summit, they sat down with Kevin Jackson, a conservative commentator who hosted the Kevin Jackson Show, to talk about identity politics, victim mentality, cultural Marxism, and the recent accusations that President Trump and Nancy Pelosi are racist. Now, Kevin Jackson is a black man. I posted this on my Facebook page. Listen to what he has to say about identity politics and the Democrats. This comes from the Western Conservative Summit. My friends, identity politics is the warp and woof of the Democrat Party. It's the bread that they butter. Why? Because if they can divide Americans, if they can create friction and strife between people, they can come in, present themselves as the good guys, play on the victim mentality, and gain power that way. It has worked in past decades. I certainly hope we're getting smarter and we realize the game they're playing and we're not going to let them play it anymore. Right? Right. If you think you're a victim, if you think people are damaging you, holding you down, standing in your way, well, then you're going to appeal to the government for help, right? And that's the key. The Democrats want the government to be all powerful. They want the government to be in charge of everything. They want people hurting and in need, so they will turn to the government and be in need of government assistance. That's the Democrat playbook. It's old, it's dog-eared, it's anti-American, and it's time we drove the proverbial wooden stake through it. Well, of course, that's what division politics is. You're jealous because some other group has more than you. Well, that's usually ridiculous. People have things. People who work hard and work smart get things, and people who don't work hard and don't work smart don't get things. You heard Kevin Jackson say Nigerians are doing extremely well in this country. Why is that? And why doesn't the Democrat Party have any support from Nigerians? As far as I know, they don't, because Nigerians don't need the Democrat Party. They don't feel like being victims. They feel like standing on their own 2 feet and succeeding, which is fantastic, which is what this country is all about, and it's exactly what the Democrats despise.
I would say envy and jealousy, but again, look at any of the grievances in any of the grievance groups and ask yourself, what is their real issue? So, for example, blacks will complain of the conditions that we have in this country. Well, look at where the most blacks are concentrated. At 13% of the population in most big cities, we are well over 30 to 60, 70% of the population. So if you're in Baltimore, you're probably 50% of the population. Cleveland, Cincinnati, Chicago, you name it. So who runs those cities? Mostly Democrats and probably other blacks. So where do our problems lie? They lie in we don't have good housing, our neighborhoods are dangerous, we have the worst schools, we have the worst access to hospitalization, to our jobs, et cetera, et cetera. Well, who's causing it? There's not a white man, there's not a Republican in sight that's doing it. So we create it for ourselves, yet we're looking for scapegoats. And America has sickened of the idea of always making that scapegoat somebody that's different than you and happens to be white. If we flip that and in any way, shape, or form, and white people were complaining all the time about how the black man is running them out of the cities or whatever, people would look at white people like you're crazy. You're creating your own problem, but then positioning it as if somebody else is doing it. So that is a form of communism where you get people to believe that we are one group, monolithically so, and we must all stick together no matter what. So if a cop shoots a black kid in a city where the police chief is a black Democrat, the mayor is a black Democrat. Everybody who's on the police review board are black Democrats. The guy that got shot was committing a crime against black people, et cetera, et cetera. Let's go find a white guy to blame. That's ridiculous. So, and that's where we are.
Okay. So what is your prescription?
The prescription is we've got to start educating people and fighting our battles differently. We have to approach these problems not in the classic way. You know, for example, if you were saying what I was saying, somebody might call you a racist. I mean,
I would expect that.
You would expect.
Yeah, I would expect
that. What you have to say, well, then my racism must be in math and it must be in reality, because the reality is, black folks are in control of police. Black folks are in control of their own politics. Black folks are in control of their own destiny. Black folks are in control of their lives, and yet you're always looking for somebody white to blame. Why is that, black man? If you have the guts, anybody looking at me, looking at this camera and saying to themselves, I have the guts to make that comment, you're probably well on your way to healing. Because as long as you take it, believe me, somebody's going to be okay with it. I use this analogy all the time. I had a cousin say to me, one of my cousins would always borrow $5. And she says, I hate when I see our other cousin. He always bums $5 off of me. And I go, why do you hate him? He's smart. He's the one that knows you're going to give him $5. What you should be hating is yourself, because you don't have the guts to tell him, no, I'm not giving you $5. Either pay back the last $5 or the $30 I've loaned you, or I'm not giving you any more. But when you give it to him every time, you call him crazy? You're crazy. So I say to white America, you're crazy. If somebody's making you feel guilty for something, you're a racist. How so? What black person have you oppressed?
Well, hopefully.
My friends, you may be hearing Kevin Jackson speak, but I'm hearing music. When I hear truth and common sense and logic, it's like music. It's so rare today. And yet here it is. And again, go to my Facebook page, Real Truth Radio, you'll find this video. Every single thing he's saying makes perfect sense. I love it. It's like taking a hot shower and coming out squeaky clean. It's like drinking clear, pure water. It's the best thing in the world. The Democrats and the media combine to cloud the issues, to make things confusing, to make things dark, so they can confuse you and take advantage of you. But here's the truth, spoken simply and clearly. That's what this radio show is all about. My hat's off to Kevin Jackson and the Epic Times. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more clear, crystal clear truth. All right, guys, we are back. Howard Real. The show is called Real Truth. And I love truth because, certainly as you have, I've been victimized by lies in my life, and it sucks. As a religious person, as you very well may be, I know that lies are the opposite of holiness. It says in Judaism, the seal, the official seal, the seal of God is truth. And after 61 years, I'm here to tell you that's absolutely correct. If you don't have truth on your side, you are nowhere. That's why I've been doing this show for almost 11 years for free. Here is Judge Janine Pirro, her opening statement. If you question the deep state's existence, you just saw it. Here's the judge. And by the way, that was a lie. Adam Schiff has yet to present any of that evidence that he promised he had, which means he was lying, and I want to know why he's not in jail. Seems to me like he was interfering in the government investigation, right?
How this guy even shows up in public, let alone refuses to resign as chair of the House Committee on Intelligence, is stunning. He is a stone-cold liar. He had no evidence, and he was willing to lie for political power. He even
coincidentally, he's a Democrat.
said Mueller would breathe life into the report. Mueller not only didn't breathe life into the report, he sucked the life out like lemonade on a hot summer day at a dry racetrack. There were so many faux pas by Mueller as he stumbled and struggled, it was painful. Now, why would Ron Rosenstein in 2017 bring a man in his condition to apply to be head of the FBI a 10-year term? And when Trump didn't hire him, Rosenstein appoints him special counsel. Why? Because the deep state needed a front, a guy with impeccable credentials in the military and law enforcement. Although I, for one, always questioned his actions as FBI director during the Whitey Bulger case and his absurd decision in the Ray Rice domestic violence case. But the FBI, Comey, Strzok, Page, and the whole lot of them, they needed to keep someone there to prevent any real investigation into their plot to remake America.
In other words, folks, let me break this down for you, make it real simple. The Democrats were staging something they knew was fake, and they assumed that you were stupid enough to believe them. Isn't that what's happening in Baltimore and in other cities, long Democrat strongholds across the country? They come in promising the moon, they accomplish nothing, but that's okay because they figure the voters there are stupid enough to simply believe and keep voting. And one of the great tragedies of this nation is that, yes, a lot of the voters there are stupid enough not to notice that they're getting nothing for their votes and to keep voting Democrat year after year after year. That takes some real stupidity, and the Democrats are great at finding it and exploiting it. All off limits and just by coincidence. Strictly by coincidence. All these people who are above the law, all these people who can do God knows what and never pay for it, just by coincidence, are Democrats. Now, my friends, America is the land of the free. You're free to be as stupid as you wish and keep voting Democrat. But keep in mind, if you do vote Democrat, you are stupid and self-destructive and not a very patriotic American. We'll be back.
industry for 21 years. Are you tired of the high pressure tactics, the constant phone calls? Are you done with the bait and switch? You just want to be treated fairly with honesty and respect? That's exactly what you get when you call 800-951-0592. You have my word on it. I'm Jim Jacobs, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group. Check us out online at allamericangold.com. Brian again, what a great season we have so far. We've installed flowers and paper and patio. We've planted hundreds of trees, shrubs, and flowers. Thank you to all the K's and C's and to our sports office club and fitness club. Please call us at 970-460-8873 or visit us at third-landscaping.com.
My friends, Martha McCallum was interviewing former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who says that the Democrats are making clowns of themselves. Well, he's on national TV. He's not able to use the best language, the most descriptive language, but clowns will suffice. Martha McCallum on Fox News with Rudy Giuliani.
Here now, exclusively tonight, Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah, if you want dirty tricks, the Democrats are your team. I certainly hope you don't want dirty tricks. Wouldn't it be better to have honest politics in this country for a change? Item from InfoWars, Dateline, Imperial Beach, California. Raw sewage teeming with toxic chemicals dumped in Mexico's northern border city of Tijuana have been flowing for decades into the United States, while local, state, and federal authorities in both countries have failed to prevent it. Now, those on the front lines of the crisis are saying enough is enough. Unrestrained runoffs of ugly green and brown liquids have caused both figurative and literal headaches for U.S. Border Patrol agents assigned to the Tijuana River Valley, a stretch of land south of San Diego, from where the Tijuana River flows north from downtown Tijuana into California and then west to the Pacific Ocean. Some of the sewage is intentionally dumped in Mexico with the full knowledge it will end up as a gruesome export to the United States. Unquote. My friends, whatever is coming here from Mexico is what America doesn't need. Item from the Daily Mail. The parents of two transgender children have told how they supported them unconditionally after they both decided to transition to the opposite sex from an early age. Ben Farina and Sarah Kaplan from Berkeley, California, welcomed a biological daughter and then a biological son to their family, but at the age of 8, James Kaplan, now 11, who was born a biological girl, realized he had to transition from female to male. Just a few years later, Olivia Kaplan, now 7, who was biologically born a boy, realized at age 4 that she wanted to transition from male to female. Their names at birth have not been revealed. The family are now sharing their story with the hope of breaking the taboo around trans children after statistics revealed an alarming number of suicides among trans children whose families are not supportive. Unquote. My friends, this is torture of children. This is abuse of children. And it's got to be stopped. We'll be back.
Join us at www.galaxygout.store, number one for independent media. Find out what the mainstream media is believing that InfoWars is pro-America, pro-family, pro-freedom. We are legally 776. Exclusive reports, live covers, information you won't find anywhere else. Tomorrow's news today. Stay informed by listening to KHNC 1360 AM. The Alex Jones Show on KHNC, the heart of Colorado. I will just about anywhere, all kinds of different deals. The one thing you do for Patriots rating for them 20 years, just like that. 8 ratings, just like that. Just like that. Just like that. Just like that.
Guys, we are back. You're listening to Real Truth. Item from the End of the American Dream blog. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, the fertility rate in the United States has never been lower than it is right now. Unlike some of our other problems, this is not an immediate crisis because we definitely have plenty of people. The population of the U.S. is currently well over 300 million, and more immigrants keep pouring in with each passing day. So we're in no danger of running out of people, but the fact that Americans are choosing to have so few babies is yet another symptom of the social decay eating away at our nation like cancer. From a very early age, young Americans are being trained not to value marriage, parenthood, and the traditional family unit. As a result, we're on an extremely self-destructive path, and there's no way we're going to have a positive future as a country unless we change course. Unquote. My friends, in Europe, in many countries in Europe, they have not been having enough children to replace their society. So what they've had to do is they need workers, and so they bring workers in from where? From the Middle East and Africa. End of Europe. Item from the Daily Mail. One man was killed, 5 others wounded during a shooting in southwest Philadelphia on Sunday night as they were setting up to film a rap video. Unquote. That's so odd. Usually people who like rap are such tranquil, cerebral, intellectual types, right? Item from the Economic Collapse blog. This is a very difficult article for me to write, says Michael Snyder. I cannot remember a time when there was so much hatred in America. We are a deeply divided nation, and those divisions are constantly being deepened by all the strife and discord that the mainstream media, our entertainment industry, and our politicians are stirring up. Because of what I do, I spend countless hours on the internet, and everywhere I go, I see hatred. There's something about this digital world that we've created that makes people feel comfortable saying things they would never say during normal social interactions, and it's truly frightening to see what's really in people's hearts. If we allow all this hatred to continue to grow, it will ultimately destroy us. Item from the College Fix. Several months after announcing a major new initiative, Harvard Medical School remains silent about revisions that will radically reorient the school's approach to medicine, bringing the institution's curriculum in line with modern LGBT ideology. In January, the College Fix reported on the school's Sexual and Gender Minorities Health Equity Initiative, a program created to conduct, quote, a comprehensive review of the school's 4-year curriculum, identifying areas that are ripe for enhancement with material on sexual and gender minority health or that contain assumptions or errors about sex and gender. Unquote. My friends, this is the tail wagging the dog. Major institutions, our own government, are resetting themselves to accommodate a small, infinitesimal minority of people who are in psychological peril to begin with. It is absolutely stupid, absolutely destructive, and corrosive, and we see it every day. That article about those 2 kids, ages 4 and 7, deciding, so to speak, that they need to change gender absolutely turns my stomach. Absolutely makes me sick. And I'm going to check the news tomorrow to see if those parents have been brought to jail yet. And if not, I would love to know why. For what they've done to screw up those 2 poor defenseless children who will never, ever lead normal lives or be happy. Their lives have already been ruined by moronic liberal parents. Folks, I don't know what to tell you except to tune in tomorrow for more real truth, and I will see you then. Hasta luego.